Hello, Jackson and Dawson. Since both of you are at the same place in the book, I'll just combine this video into one for you. So, last we met, we were working on Hey Mr. Half Note dot, right? And we learned that our dotted half note is like a half note plus one. So, there were three beats each, right? And we were sort of just wrestling with the idea of a beat or a note equaling three beats. Just remember, you have to look really closely on the page to see the dot. If you don't see a dot, then it's just a normal half note. But if you see that dot, there's more to it than it seems. Okay, so a big thing that I notice whenever I give my students alouette, which an alouette is a French term for a kind of lark, which is a sort of songbird. But a big thing that I notice is that my students get very caught up in reading this piece, but their mind sort of finds a way to block out the one place that we use our left hand in this song. So if we look at the top line and we keep going and we keep going and we keep going, whenever we get to that last measure or musical room, there's actually a G that you have to play with your left hand. So, as you are working on this song, I just want you to pay attention and keep in mind that there's two half notes in the last measure instead of just one. Another big thing in this piece is we have a little skip going from our third measure into our fourth measure. And I'll talk about it in a second. But we have a skip going from E to C. So we have to be aware of that as well. Pretty much every other thing that we have in here is either a step away or you're staying on the same note. But that E to D is one of the places where you have more than a step, more like a skip. And I'll tell you too, from the C to the G is kind of like a big skip too. But I want you to look at what's happening in the first measure, or in the first four measures, rather. And then, before you even go to play it, before you go to clap through it, I want you to see if it looks familiar. Look at the bottom line and see if there's anything familiar about that versus the top line. But yes, your homework will be the alouette. Pay special attention to the skip between the last two measures of each line, and pay very special attention to the left hand note, the only left hand note we have in this entire piece. And you two are going to do great. I know it. And also, if you go over to page number 19 in your theory book, that's actually a game that we're going to play next time. But yes, you two have a wonderful week and a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.